What's going on, guys? This is going to be day 19 of the boot camp, I think. It's crazy how far we've already came along. Now, this video is going to be on patience. Wait, did I do one on patience? Fuck. Did I? Let me check. I might have. Sounds mad familiar. I was just going to do a patience one because I feel like now that you guys know trading, you're going to start to want to know, like, patience and stuff like that. Jeez, it's just great how my boot camp fucking gets no play. No one gives a crap about it. Did I do patience? I did not do patience. Great, let's do patience. Okay. So, patience. Now, one you have to realize patience is an aspect that will control your life. It will control your day-to-day life. It will control your routines. And overall, it will just control everything. It will control your trading, your money, your athleticism, your gym, your discipline, your motivation, everything. As you have to understand that things take time, especially the good things that you work so hard for. You're not going to get rich overnight, and you're not going to get rich in a week. You're not going to get rich in a month, and you're not going to get rich in your first year. Of course, there's going to be the one person who most likely to get there. It's not even about how hard you work. It's most likely you're going to have a lot to do with the luck. Obviously, after your first year or month of building the skill, yes, you can get rich the next year. You can start making insane amount of money. But the point is that nothing worth working for will come overnight. What I mean by that is there's a lot of things that you can change overnight. A lot. And they're not going to be worth it, you know? For example, can you change your physique overnight? Can you magically go from, I don't know, your 200-pound little fat self or somewhat fat to 6-pack shredded abs with veins overnight? Can you do that? No. You can't. Can you go in one night from having $1 to your name to $1 million in your name? You can. Is it going to happen? No. 1 to a billion. I don't even think that's actually possible. It's not going to happen. And, the point is, you have to work for those things. As I'm on my journey right now to that shredded abs, and I've been working on it for around 5 months. Dropped around 35 pounds. Of course, I haven't been consistent every day, or else I would have them already. But the point is I'm trying, and I know it's going to happen within the next month or so. I'm starting to see them. Am I on my way to being a billionaire? Yeah. It's not happening overnight, clearly. Content, am I on my way to being famous? Yeah. It's not happening overnight, and that's the same thing with you. When I started trading in January, this shit did not happen overnight. There were days with failing, months of failing, not a years of failing, because it only took me like 5 months, 6 months. But still, it was every day I was working 10 hours, seeing no result. No result. And it sucked. Because imagine giving everything you got into something and seeing no result and still having to keep pushing while you have everyone else around you telling you to stop. That is quite literally what my life was like. And if I listened to all of them, I would still be the normal 16-year-old kid like everyone else. Probably I wouldn't have to post. I wouldn't be doing this. Probably working my car detailing business. But the point is I didn't listen. And I made a change for myself. And that is the most important lesson that you should do. As now I'm having 13, 14, $10,000 days with this trading stuff. Everyone thought it was a joke, and now they're like, yo, can you put me on? Like, I literally get texts from people who at first were like, good luck, but it's probably not going to work. Now saying, put me on, bro. And I try to put them on. I tell them what they need to do, and then they don't do it. Tell them put 10 hours a day. Can I do 4? Like, no, do your 10. You cannot be average to live this life. You have to want something. Now I want to dive into the patience that is going to require you to have while you day trade. As while you're trading, yes, it's important. It's very important to say, oh yeah, show patience, blah, blah, blah. You need it, this is why. But I want to logistically get into the actual details and results and outcomes and the efforts you put into it that patience will give back. You could journal this. If you are watching this and you've already been trading, Or if you're watching this and you are about to trade, this is something you know or should know. We get paid to wait. We do not get paid to trade. Surely you can hop on the chart and think you see a setup in 5 seconds. You can say, oh yeah, this is I'm just going to target this wick. Quick scout. Okay, 10 out of 10 times, like maybe 8 of them don't work. You're not profitable. You didn't wait. Now, I can't even stress the difference you will see in just when you be patient in your trading, just on the charts in general, and then in your life in general. For example, on the charts, I used to not be patient. Especially when I was in school trading, I would have to force trades. That was because I didn't have much time and I wasn't accepting the fact that I could have a no trade day. I was coming in with I have to trade. If the market wasn't showing me a trade, I'd force a trade. I would make some shit up in my head like I was in a fairyland and saw A plus setup when really there wasn't shit. And of course, sometimes it played out, but majority of those times I would blow an account on that trade. Blow a funded on that trade. Lose my shit on that trade. And it would just create bad habits, and it would just be a cycle of recurring bad habits. And then I got out of that. How? Because I switched my mindset from I have to take a trade to I flipped it saying I will be paid more if I just wait. I am not going to force a setup on the market. The market has to force me to trade. And that's the mindset I go in with every day. I go in with the mindset every day of I'm not taking a trade today unless the market makes me. And just having that mindset helps so much. I can't even stress enough how much it helps. Now, with that said, once you are patient, what are you going to notice? Well, being fully honest, you're going to start getting bored trading. You are, as this is a business. It's fun. It was fun at first, but it shouldn't be fun anymore. Obviously, you can enjoy trading, but once you are actually profitable and waiting and being patient, it's going to get boring because there's going to be days where you stare at a chart for 3 hours and you don't see shit, and you can't force a trade to see those P&L lines moving. Instead, you have to wait and say, okay, I'm going to protect my capital and trade the next day, and that's the part that gets tough. But once you do that, that is when you will actually turn profitable. Because you have to realize half your losing days are mainly from forcing a trade. Like if you just cut that shit and stuck to your A plus setups or really good setups in your mind, in your system, your win rate would probably increase to like 70-80%. And it would be way better. Obviously, you're not going to trade every day though. It's going to become a lot rare, and you're actually going to need to depend your system on price action. It's no longer going to be, I'll find a setup no matter what price action is. You're actually going to need clean price action. Now, what does that mean? What does trading look like? Well, trading shouldn't look like this. For example, I'm watching the charts. I'm like, oh my God. You're not going to be watching the charts like, oh my God, fuck. I should be getting off right now, but I don't care. Enter. And you go down like $1 billion or brony. Like, and you force trade. And then you're going to sit there after you force that trade, and you're going to be like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have taken that setup. In my mind, I know I shouldn't have taken that setup. I knew it was a bad setup, and I knew the time was wrong, and I still took it anyways. Versus the profitable version of yourself who stays patient. This is quite literally what I look like on most days. Okay, my setup's not forming.
Bro, New York session has literally been so unbearable.
That's literally what I look like. For half the sessions recently where price has been shit, I'm not going to stare at the charts. No, it's boring. I go on my phone, I chill, and that's when you'll notice you're finally waiting. I'm finally being patient for my setup. I'm not going to force a trade. I'm just not. Trust me when I say this because I'm speaking from experience, and I know you're going to do it. You're not going to not do it. But there's been so many times where in my head it would be like almost had to not trade, or I'd have a class, and in my head it's like, don't take this trade. The market is chopping. It is faking out. It is low probability. There will be another setup tomorrow. Do not trade. And then I'll find myself 5 minutes later saying, oh my God, we just inverted one candle. The trend is changing. This is a phenomenal setup. And then I enter. And there's been so many countless times where I just watched as I blew that account the same day because of that mistake. Or I blew 5 accounts right before I passed them because of that mistake. I blew an account on my 4th winning day of a payout because of that mistake. And that's the shit. That's the truth. It's going to happen. There's nothing you can work your way around magically for that not to happen. It's just going to happen. Now, with that said, though, the mindset had to change. As I would say, the biggest thing that changed my mindset and that will change yours is honestly, think about the money. Think about it. I know that's the opposite and it's a controversial topic, as a lot of people won't say think about the money, but instead they'll say, like, just think about the execution, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I agree with that too. But think about the money. I want you to have a general thought, conversation, topic with yourself and be like, okay, thinking about the money and thinking about my win rate and strategy, if I cut out all these bad trades that I just forced and didn't blow these accounts and I waited for A+ setups, what would I be? Because instead of blowing that account that you rushed on, surely it would take a week or two more, but now you scaled 5 accounts instead of just blowing them, just trading every day. And now, 3 weeks later, you got your first payout across all 5, 10K. Instead, obviously it took longer, but you got it. If you took short, you probably would have blown your shit. Another thing I'll say that everyone falls into, stop trying to rush the eval phase unless you're profitable. There's been so many days where I used to try and pass the chain in a day or two, and I'd always blow it. Now, obviously, I pass them all in a day. That's me. I'm profitable. I know my shit. I know my patience. I don't force, and I wait for the right setup. Now, with that said, once you are patient in the charts, your life will get better outside the charts. I can't even explain how many ways that trading has made my life better, more profitable. I'm now a more disciplined and mature man at the ripe age of 16. I have my shit together. Wake up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym, work out, while it's all 60, 50-year-old entrepreneurs in there. Because they have the time. I'm not sleeping in like everyone else my age. I'm up eating clean, making videos, trading. And it's just that patience in my life. Like, if someone tries to get in an argument with me anymore, I'm not going to start cursing you out. I'm just going to sit there and just watch as you look stupid, making an effortless point while I just talk normal. It's truth. If you want to fight, though, I'd kick your ass. But that's true. And the patience just in general in every single aspect. You're going to be more calm, more respectful, more respectable. You're going to have more emotion where people will like you. It's not even about the people like you. It's just you're chill. You're patient now. Like, I could just be sitting here. I don't feel the need to have to get up. I don't feel the need to have to enter a trade. And you shouldn't have to. And that's the truth. As if you do, and you're not being patient. Now, with that said, the biggest key lesson I want you to take away from today is that we are paid to sit on our hands and wait for the setup. We are not paid to just force a trade. And once you understand that, I swear to God, you'll almost be profitable. Now, that said, that was today. There's not really going to be any homework for patience, to be honest, at all. The only homework would just be whenever you're paper trading or taking actual trades now, just journal them and be honest if it was a patient trade or not. With that said, that was Bootcamp Day 19. Peace.